Hi guys, my name is Sandra Solomon Fragrance and you are welcome to my channel. Now it's finally time for my winter fragrances for women. I actually recorded this video this weekend, and when I was finished and I was loading the files onto my computer, I realized that I had been wearing the wrong equipment. So my whole video was without a sound. So now I have to do it all over again, and I'm gonna try and do it good for you. We are starting out with Xerjoff from Parfums de Marly. This is my favorite tobacco fragrance. I love it on myself, and I also think it smells wonderful on a man. This is a sweet, warm and spicy tobacco fragrance, and it opens up with some cinnamon and some pepper. Then you get the tobacco, the incense, some osmanthus and some labdanum. And in the base you have some musk, woody notes and the beautiful vanilla. When I have this on, I feel amazing. I feel like I am attractive, sensual, yet elegant, and that is the best feeling. So if you are into tobacco fragrances, this might be one for you if you like the very sweet ones. Next up we have a powdery, woody vanilla fragrance that is like the perfect skin scent, and that is Bouquet Ideale from Casamorati Xerjoff. This is a beautiful and romantic fragrance for women. It opens up sweet with some cinnamon and some nutmeg. Then you get some woody notes together with papyrus, and this has a beautiful light sandalwood note together with some cedar and some gaiac wood. And in the base you get this sweet, sweet vanilla together with some tobacco blossom, some coumarin, labdanum and a warm and beautiful musk. And this is definitely the fragrance I reach for when I want something romantic. This is such a beautiful fragrance. It's very feminine, it's very luxurious and it's elegant. Next up is one of my recent favorites. I actually bought it this summer, but I didn't fall in love with it until like a month ago, and now it's December. This is Carven L Absolu. This is a woody white floral fragrance, and this really stands out. It's really different and very unique. So it opens up fruity with some ylang ylang and some mandarin. Then you have the beautiful floral combination of jasmine, iris and tuberose. Tuberose is one of my favorite notes in a fragrance, and yeah, tuberose just makes any fragrance great. And in the base you have some patchouli, some labdanum and also sandalwood. And I would actually say that the patchouli is quite prominent in this one, but not in that old school kind of way, in a very good way that just gives this something extra, something deeper. And yeah, when I have this on, I can't stop smelling myself. This feels so great, and I can really recommend Carven L Absolu if you like white florals but also woody fragrances. And the combination of those white florals and the woodiness in this is just beautiful. And the next one is one that I call the Sauvage for women, and that is YSL Libre. This is the collector's edition 2021. I really like the bottle. It's full of gold, and this smells so great. It's a lavender focused fragrance for women, and lavender is often a note that you find in men's fragrances, so that's what gives this some extra edge. So it opens up with that lavender together with some black currant and mandarin orange. So you have a quite strong opening with the lavender, but also fruity and slightly citrusy. Then you get some orange blossom, and you also get some jasmine. So this is a beautiful combination of florals like orange blossom, lavender and jasmine. So the lavender together with those white florals, the cedar and the vanilla makes this really something extra. I think it smells well made and complex, and this is one that I would call a power fragrance, one that gives you in the right mood when you put it on. I can wear this feeling romantic and sexy, but I could also wear it to work to feel powerful. Next up is one of my absolute favorites from Byredo, and that is Bal D Afrique. This is a woody and aromatic citrus focused fragrance. I usually don't gravitate towards the citrus fragrances, but this one is truly addictive. And What happened when I first tried this out was that I was in the store, I sprayed some on my wrist, and then I went out with a friend, we had some lunch, and then I was going to pick up my kids from school, and I jumped into one of these shared cars. And when I stepped into the car, I felt like, wow, the person in this car before me smelled amazing. What is this? And then I like fixed my hair or something, and my hand passed my nose, and I realized, well, hey, I'm the one smelling great. So that's when I realized that I really had to get Bal D Afrique. This is such a beautiful one. This is a fragrance that you remember. This is a fragrance that people want to get more of. So when you get a whiff of this, you're like, wow, what is this? Highly recommended, one of the best from Byredo. And now one of my favorite fragrances for going to the gym and also to wear when I'm going out or to work. This is a beautiful winter fragrance that actually works all year round. There is something with this when your skin heats up that makes it project like crazy and in a very good way. So this is Gucci Guilty Absolute Parfum. This has the most addictive opening with dewberry and some pepper. Then it has a base of Bulgarian rose, some woody notes, some patchouli, amber and vetiver. And yes, this is just such a beautiful and sweet berry woody combination. This actually smells like something I would eat. It's not a gourmand, but it smells so good. It smells like, yeah, some kind of candy, but yet elegant and classy. This is one of my all-time favorites, and this is one that I guess I will always have in my collection. So of course, when it's winter and it's cold and you want something warm and cozy, you can reach for a perfect gourmand. And that gourmand can be Féve Dèlicieuse. This is one of the most beautiful gourmand fragrances I have ever bought. And yeah, this is one that you can't stop smelling. It smells like cinnamon buns, like vanilla, sweet pancakes with syrup, chocolate, yeah, just everything. So in the opening you have some mint, bergamot, some lavender. Then you get freesia, jasmine and sour cherry. And in the base you get this crazy combination of vanilla, cacao pod, caramel, tonka beans, praline, benzoin, milk, cedar and some leather and cashmere. This smells so good in the opening. It's very strong in the opening, but the dry down is even better. Next up is Wanted Girl by Night from Azzaro. This is a beautiful, sweet vanilla and white floral fragrance with some boozy notes. And do I have to mention that this smells great with whipped cream, with rum, some florals and patchouli. This is sweet, it's boozy, it's very simple but yet beautiful. I think this is the kind of fragrance that works for every occasion, but especially for a date. Next up is a beautiful vanilla fragrance, and that is Intio's Absolute Aphrodisiac. This is such a wonderful vanilla fragrance that comes in so many layers, but always with the vanilla in focus. This actually does have an animalic note with the castoreum, and some things that this smells animalic. To me, it doesn't, but I don't have problems with animalics, so maybe I'm not the best person saying that this doesn't smell animalic. The vanilla is also mixed up with some amber, some leather and musk. And yeah, this smells amazing on its own, but it also smells wonderful if you layer it with other kinds of fragrances. Next up is one that got me 3 compliments the first time I ever wore it, and that is The Chronic from Byron. This is a beautiful, spicy amber fragrance with focus on cinnamon. So it opens up with cinnamon and pepper. Then you get some amber, leather and patchouli. And yeah, this really is the perfect combination of amber and cinnamon on that musky base that gives this a round and completed scent. This is really strong, it projects very good, and it's an extrait de parfum. That means that it's more concentrated, so you don't have to wear so much to smell very much. So if you like sweet fragrances and you really enjoy cinnamon, this is one that I can recommend. Next up is a spicy rose fragrance for women, and that is Club de Nuit Intense from Armaf. This has a beautiful opening with rose, saffron and geranium, and the rose in this one is really beautiful. I actually am not so fond of rose fragrances, but this rose note is not soapy at all. Then you get some nutmeg, some violet, caraway and pepper, and yes, this is really something extra, and you can feel that its composition is quite complex with all those different notes, and it doesn't end with those notes. You also get some patchouli, vanilla, agarwood and amber. This one is really strong in the opening, so sometimes when I put it on I'm like, wow, why did I put this on? This is so strong, I'm not in the mood for that. But then after a few minutes, when it dried down, it just becomes this beautiful and elegant rose focused fragrance, and I just love it. Next up is another beautiful tobacco fragrance, and that is Pure Havane from Mugler. This is such a wonderful tobacco together with vanilla and the sweet notes of honey. It also has cacao, patchouli, amber and labdanum. And it's not listed in the notes, but I also think this has a huge note of cherries. So when someone has this on and you walk into the room, you're like, wow, I get sweet cherries. Who is wearing what? This leaves an amazing scent trail that lasts for hours. And yeah, I love this one. This is just as good on a woman as it is on a man. This is just as good on a woman as it is on a man, and it's a perfect winter fragrance. Next up is a great cheapie, and that is Pepe Jeans for Her. This is a beautiful, sweet, almond and vanilla fragrance with lactonic notes. It's beautifully powdery, and it also has something boozy over it. So the notes are vanilla, almond milk and rum. So you have that boozy feeling, and at the same time it's lactonic, sweet, round thanks to the almond milk. And in the base you have amber and musk, which also makes it warm and deep. And yeah, I just love having this on. This is the kind of fragrance that you really can smell yourself when you have it on. And that is something that I really like. So if you enjoy almonds and want a sweet and slightly boozy fragrance, I can really recommend Pepe Jeans for Her. Next up is another great cheapie, and that is Fatale Intense from Agent Provocateur. This is a beautiful, sweet and spicy vanilla fragrance, and this always lands me compliments. It has a cool opening with dewberry, licorice and pepper. Then you have a beautiful floral mix that comes from champaca, rose and lotus. And yeah, you definitely feel that there are some florals, but I would say that this is really focused on the licorice, the dewberry and the pepper. And in the base you have a sweet vanilla, some warm amber and also some leather that I think gives this some extra edge. So the sweetness together with the leather notes really makes this a great combination. So do you want a sweet and spicy fragrance with some edge? Go for Fatale Intense. The last one is a beautiful one from Tom Ford, and that is Velvet Orchid. This is a beautiful floral fragrance with woody notes, some sweetness, and it just feels very luxurious. This opens up with rum, honey and some citrus, and the sweetness in the opening is really focused on the honey. Then you get a beautiful floral combination with orchid, jasmine, heliotrope, hyacinth, roses and white florals. And the hyacinth note is kind of prominent and actually mixed up with something sweet that makes this really unique and different from other fragrances. And in the base you have a beautiful vanilla, some myrrh, suede, sandalwood, peribalsam and labdanum. So all of these many notes makes this composition so well made, so unique, and it really makes you stand out. So if you want a warm, strong floral fragrance with woody notes, maybe Tom Ford Velvet Orchid is the one for you. That was 15 winter fragrances for women. Tell me about your favorite winter fragrance in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me and it doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.